one of the criteria that's really critical for this project, a must-have, was that you got the real in Surrealism, meaning half the images you gather are from references that you're looking at on your phone, on the iPad, or that we print off for you. So I would need you to gather reference images to look at these objects. The real thing is always the best. You know, for an example of that is if we're looking at this, we're spinning it around, rotating it, saying, what do I see? If you ended up seeing a ladder in this, you know, if I was to draw a ladder from my mind, you know, most of my students would go here. Some of them would get a little bit better and double the line into a shape and make this. And I'm guilty of this too, really. I mean, you're kind of limited to your memory, okay? So if you gather an image, you know, of a ladder, not only can you might find one that has a really interesting point of view, but it also gives you a light source. I can see now where the light's coming from. I can see each of these rungs has a core shadow on the bottom of the rung and a halftone and a highlight on the top of the rung. I can add that dimension to the sides. I might even be able to get the detail, you know, some details that I didn't think of in my mind, like a cast shadow from the rung onto the leg of the ladder. Or even the texture, that wood grain, or maybe it's a metal ladder. The point is, gather those visual references, because half the drawings in your piece should be from a reference. The other half can be from your mind. But remember the apple exercise, right? Seeing versus knowing. Observing is a much more powerful tool to create realistic drawings than just knowing, just trying to work from your memory, because your memory is limited and you kind of end up with this kind of thing, right? You know, then when you get into the surreal part, the sur in the real, that's when we're going to do things like, you know, so here I am working from my reference. Here I've got all my parts of light. I've got a light source. I've got a cast shadow. You know, then it gets to the point where I'm like, let's work from my mind a little bit more. Let's use a surrealist term, like, or strategy, like